Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and today we are going to work on our 180-degree step with the Hydrocore, but we are going to add a mill in the middle. We are taking the Hydrocore movement, of which we know all the basics, side swings, mills, big circles, alternating mills, alternating pendulums, and we are going to start assembling them in different patterns with different steps. The point of this is to teach people coordinated skill and an ability to track information and data. Learning is a skill, so we're going to start building these things up one step at a time to build our own complex movement patterns and build our own mini flows, as you might call them. In a previous video, we had done a 180-degree swing. We had gone from rack, stepped back into our mini warrior stance with one leg, push, swing, pull, and catch. We love the 180-degree turnaround because it is extremely useful for humans. It's in every combat-based martial art that is based on battlefield, not on dueling, on battlefield. Dueling is what we consider like modern MMA or boxing, two guys agreeing to punch each other on level ground for X amount of time with X certain rules. Things like the 180-degree turn don't really exist that much in modern martial arts because they're not designed for that. If you look at old martial arts, where you always assume that there was somebody behind you, all of the old martial arts work very heavily on turning around. You would see classic examples of this in Kung Fu, where you would see punch and then you would rotate 180 degrees and do a punch, and you would practice these moves back and forth, hitting people on two opposite sides of you and working on your footwork to get from one side to the other. Doesn't matter if you need to use it, what it does is it forces you to do left leg and right leg equally well as forward, which most people in the modern world have a problem with. Most people have one good side. We would like to avoid that. Having one good side tends to lead to overuse injuries. People who play tennis tend to have overuse injuries on one side from rotating one way all the time. There's nothing wrong with playing a sport that is one-sided, but for health and longevity purposes, we want to make sure we rotate equally well in all directions because it prevents overuse injuries, and overuse injuries essentially make you old. We are going to combine our 180-degree step around with our mill. So there's going to be three directions in here. Let's say this is direction 1, 90 degrees off is going to be direction 2, 90 degrees off of that is going to be direction 3. So we are still moving through a 180-degree arc. We're adding a mill here in the center of this movement. Let's review our mill really quickly. Starts from our building up our side swing. And our mill is our big casting pattern, but we have always done it without moving our feet so that we can make sure that our ankles, our knees, and our hips rotate equally well all directions. What we are trying to do with this is point our feet straight ahead so we don't have turnout. So as we're doing this, we don't start getting weird things happening with our knee. We're always going to hold true to that. In a previous video as well, we had our 180-degree spin. Starting from our rack position, step back with one leg, push, swing, pull, catch, turn 180 degrees. Let's combine those two things together. We are going to step back with one leg, pivot to the center, and then we are going to finish by stepping up to the other side. Step back, 90 degrees, add 90 degrees, step forward. So, pop the weight off, swing to center, do our mill, and step all the way up. Step back, do the mill, stand all the way up. Step back, do the mill, stand all the way up. Step back, do the mill, stand all the way up. One more, step back, do the mill, stand all the way up. Simple, not easy. This forces us to start with one leg, for this case, left leg lead, go to our mill, do our mill, and step up. Now, right leg lead, come to center, stand all the way up. Seems like it should be an easy drill. Most people have a terrible time stepping back with one of their legs. Most people are very good with stepping back with either their right or their left. And what people will notice is they will try to step back with the same leg all the time, and the move will become a circle instead of a back and forth. In order to make sure you're doing this right, I'm picking the camera as a reference point. I'm always going to rotate towards the camera. If I find myself rotating towards the camera and then no camera, I know I've done it wrong. We will just go ahead and make a drill that's a circle, but we want to break it out and do an alternating direction first. We want to establish that we are in control of our brain and in control of our body equally well on both sides before we start doing continuous circles. Continuous circles will be another video.